So what are your plans career-wise when you're finished?
I'd like to work in a prison or for a nonprofit working with victims' family members, maybe for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children or
Oh, wow. Yeah,
something along those lines.
That would be amazing. So if you were to work at a prison, what would be the job that you'd want to do there? Like a social, like a counselor or something like that?
Yeah, I would probably work as like a criminal profiler, something along those lines. I would probably counsel the prisoners.
Awesome. That's the way I look at her. And I noticed that you did an interview concerning that app, the Crime Door app. And were you involved with like creating that, and especially the scenario that they show on there on the bridge?
Yeah, so I was part of it in a sense that I helped them they've never been to the bridge. So I was able to explain what the bridge looks like. For example, in the beginning, they had this picture perfect railroad trestle created. And that's just not what High Bridge is. That bridge is terrifying. And so I helped them to make a more accurate bridge that better depicted what High Bridge really looks like.
Well, you did a wonderful job because I've been to that bridge.
And so I helped picture perfect railroad trestle created. And that's just not what High Bridge is. That bridge is terrifying. And so I helped them to make a more accurate bridge that better depicted what High Bridge really looks like.
Well, you did a wonderful job because I've been to that bridge. My brother and I went there in September, and I would only go about 5 feet out there because of how terrible it looked. I mean, the big holes, the rotting. You guys did a great job because I watched one of those, the depiction of that, and it was spot on. And another thing I wanted to revert back to involving my question, I noticed that when it showed Abby and Libby in that scenario, Libby was in between Abby and the guy. It's like she was that protector. And I thought, man, that is cool, because that's exactly how I thought that would have happened from what I've learned about Libby through this whole process.
Oh, yeah. And it's just a best guess. There's actually other people that have done like videos that have went out to the bridge and tried to mimic the exact spot that this guy would have been in. And so based on those videos, that was our best guess of where they would have been at the point of that video.
Another question that goes along with something you said earlier when I asked you about the prison, you said you might want to do some profiling. So have you worked on, this is probably a dumb question because I'm sure you have, but have you worked on a profile for who Bridge Guy? Do you call him Bridge Guy, by the way?
That's the only thing we really know what to call him. So yeah, that's what we go with.
So do you have a profile you've created who you think that?
I haven't really. It just doesn't make sense to me how somebody who hasn't done it before goes straight to killing 2 girls. Through all of my research, that's one thing I've never found was a first-time offender going out in public and killing 2 girls in broad daylight. That's just not something that happens, especially through all of my research. That's one thing I've never found was a first-time offender going out in public and killing 2 girls in broad daylight. That's just not something that happens, especially 2 young girls, especially one bigger than the other one who definitely could have fought him off. So, yeah, that's all I have. I've never really created a profile. I just feel like I haven't done all of my forensic psychology classes enough to go into that. But yeah, someday.
Yeah.